multiple counties that I practice in, the officer will even list his agency in a separate affidavit.
Again,
Object. All right, to both counsels.
If he's going to object.
Yes, Your Honor, I'm here. One infraction matter, Susan Pavlenko. Okay, the lack of agency identification in the officer's signature and sworn statement. The infraction is invalid under RCW 55010 and RCW 55050 as the signature on the notice of infraction lacks the required agency per RCW 55010E subsection 3 for law enforcement declarations, failing to provide it in the standard form as required in the statute, which undermines the authenticity. It also, by not having the agency identification, the notice and statement omitting the employing agency violate IRLJ 2.1 subsection B4 for clear officer identification to establish authority and validity. Without these details, the report fails to prove jurisdiction in Clark County or Battleground, rendering the affidavit defective under IRLJ 3.3C. So we're asking that the infraction be...
Okay, pause. What just happened here is huge. The defense isn't arguing innocence. They're arguing the paperwork itself is defective in law. That's like saying the state didn't even load the gun before pulling the trigger. If the paperwork's wrong, the whole case collapses, regardless of guilt.
Be dismissed, suppressed for those reasons, and then be dismissed, Your Honor.
Can you give me that statute you were citing as well, one more time?
RCW 550050, and the other statute is RCW 550010, and then specifically subsection 3E. It will discuss how the officer's sworn signature needs to be in substantial compliance with the example form given. Oftentimes we see an officer put his agency in the actual signature block or include it and incorporate it through their separate affidavit or even on the notice of infraction. Here we have the officer state that he is in fact an officer in the state of Washington, but nowhere else on the infraction, anywhere does it list anything about where he works, what agency, what his jurisdiction and authority is over this case. So without those, it really renders the rest of the notice of infraction inadmissible, Your Honor. So we're asking for suppression.
And if Your Honor, if I may be heard briefly.
Absolutely.
My understanding, this issue has come up a number of times. I've discussed with law enforcement this issue.